Right. We are at the Chelsea in Brick, New Jersey, in conjunction with the National Guard Militia Museum of New Jersey, Center for U.S. War Veterans Oral Histories. Today is March 16th, 2017. I am Carol Fowler, Director of the Center, and with me is William Elwell from Monmouth University, our intern at the museum, and also we have Christine Galassi, who is an oral historian herself. Okay, our honored veteran is Robert Lepre, who served in the United States Navy in World War II. He served aboard the USS Wilkes-Barre, and he served as a cook and baker and was in from 1943 to 1946. And he was in the Pacific Theater of Operations. Thank you for wanting to be here today, Robert. Your eyewitness account is considered a primary historical source and a valuable contribution to the Veteran Oral History Project at the National Guard Militia Museum. And good morning and welcome. Take us back to life prior to service. Had anyone in your family served before you?
No.
No? Okay. And then what was life like? You were born, let's see, in Newark. What was life like for you back in those days before you went into the Navy?
Yeah. Newark, New Jersey.
Okay. And how did you come to be in the Navy? Were you drafted? Did you enlist or were you drafted?
I didn't hear that. I was a neighborhood kid. I didn't graduate high school. I was a carpenter apprentice. And when I went into the Navy, I was only 17 years old. Yeah.
Did you need special permission from your parents? Did they have to sign?
Did your mom or dad have to give you permission to get in at 17?
No. I would have been drafted.
Uh-huh.
But instead of being drafted, I joined.
Why?
And I had to wait about four or 6 months to get into the service.
Now, wait a minute. Didn't you try to get in the Army?
No.
Well, didn't the Navy say there was a problem? They didn't want to take you?
No.
Something about your feet?
Oh. I got flat feet.
Yeah. So
I got in and they when they examined me,
uh-huh.
they rejected me.
Yeah?
So I said I want to be re-examined. So I went and re-examined the next day, and they said, he's not gonna. He can join.
Not going to do much marching in the Navy.
No.
So why did it take you 4 to 6 months? What were you waiting for to get in? Do you mind?
Who said I was waiting?
You said that when you enlisted, and then it took you 4 to 6 months before you had to before you went off. Why? Were they waiting for you to get to be 18?
I don't really.
And then where did you go to school for the Navy? Where'd you do your boot camp? Rhode Island.
Great Lakes?
Rhode Island, yeah.
What was the name of the town? Remember?
Huh?
Was it Newport?
What?
Newport?
Yeah, Newport.
Yeah.
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 How was that school? How was that experience?
Was it an adjustment going into the Navy?
That was to get into the Navy.
Yeah, but what was it like with all those guys? Was it different than being a carpenter?
I should say so. Yeah.
What kind of things did they have you do?
What kind of... I can't remember that.
No?
No.
Were a lot of the guys Italian like you?
Yeah, Italian, German, Jewish, all sorts of fellows.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How'd you get along with them?
Why would I get away with it?
How'd you get along with them? Everybody get along?
Get away with what?
Get along with all the men. How did you get along? Did you make friends?
Camaraderie.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I joined up, and when I went into the service, my father told me, he says, make friends with the biggest guy you can.
Good advice.
I was about the biggest guy.
Right.
That's funny.
So I made friends with Louis Cavas
Louis Civitelli.
but he wasn't big.
No?
No, he was small. But he was a built comic.
Yeah?
He can make a joke out of anything. And he came into the cook school with me.
Mm-hmm.
And we went through two schools, cook school.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed friends all the while, all the while. But then he got home earlier because he had family.
Mm-hmm.
And he got home earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But getting home was a pain in the neck
Yeah?
because I didn't want to go around through the Panama Canal again.
Yeah?
So
Why not?
I
Too
took
long.
the freight train home aboard about 7 different tracks.
Yeah? How was that on the train?
Oh, bird.
But wait a minute, you're getting ahead of yourself. Tell me about how you ended up in Cooks and Baker School.
And, when I was examined,
Mm-hmm.
if I had what do you call it?
Physical.
A professional.
Right.
Professional. And I got it for a professional. So the officer says, you got a penalty? So I said, yes, I'm a cook. I'm a carpenter. He says, great, Cooks and Baker School.
How'd that work out for you?
Well, I made first class. I got a stripe. Yeah.
Did you like being a cook?
Yeah.
Is this right?
That's what he came out as.
Oh, okay.
I went to definitely.
He was a first-class cook.
Oh, okay.
I worked as a cook.
Yeah?
I worked as a laundryman.
Yeah?
I even worked as a shoemaker.
You did?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Well, I didn't like being idle. But when I could, what can you do? I said I can do anything with my hands.
Yeah?
And they made me go and be a shoemaker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got that.
Yep.
But basically, I laundryman.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good deal.
That was a good deal, too?
Yeah, because you get up front in a shower line.
Oh, okay.
Now, wait a minute. When you were a cook, did you tell me you taught them how to make meatballs?
Tell you what?
Taught them how to make spaghetti sauce?
Oh, yeah.
How'd you do that?
Well, they were making what I call American. And I got an account, and I told them, I says, you're throwing away the best part. I says, you gotta save the sauce for the gravy. So
What sauce? You mean from the meatballs, right?
yeah, so they did that, and every time we had the macaroni,
Mm-hmm.
the old Lapree's on duty. Go ahead, enjoy.
What else did you like to cook?
We used to have 2:00 feedings
Uh-huh.
in the galley.
Yeah? Was everybody welcome?
No. We had about 6 or 7 cooks,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a couple of Jews.
Mm-hmm. Why?
So the guy-
Italians and Jews, why?
He said, what do you do with the Jews? He says, they got connections.
The Italians could cook and the Jewish guys got everything sent from home.
Oh, I see.
How about rice? Did you ever make rice?
Rice?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I got thrown out of the galley.
How that happened?
Well, they were cooking or something, and I was busy talking to somebody. So the officer told me, says, "Get the rice ready."
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't say how much. I had all over the galley floor.
What happened? You put it in the boiler, and what happened?
Yeah, well, it's a 30 gallon pot, and that blew up. It's all over the place. He says, "You're ready to cooking."
I know a secret story. I wonder if you'll tell them about it. Will you tell them about the caper?
What?
Will you tell them about the caper? The guy who needed to go home? Can you tell that story?
I don't know what
The caper. Do you remember the man who was so sad and he needed to go home?
Oh, the guy we got discharged.
Yeah, do you remember that story?
Yeah. No, this kid had small children at home. I don't know how he got in, but he was so depressed. He says, "I'm going to jump overboard." He said he was keeping his word. He was sitting on a garbage pail for days. He's waiting. He says, "I'm waiting for my time to." So we told him, I said, "We can't let a guy jump overboard." So we made a scheme.
A scheme.
He was stealing from our lockers.
Yeah?
Yeah, four of us ganged up, and we took him out, and he got what they call officer mess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, his shirt, it's judge.
Right.
So he went and what he got proof for? He had stuff from my locker,
Uh-huh.
and stuff from another locker, and stuff from another.
But it was all a scheme, right? He didn't
Yeah.
really steal anything.
Yeah. So he got discharged.
He did?
Yeah, he got discharged right.
So he
from
got
the-
to go home?
Yeah, but he had to wait. He had to have a wait that was going back to
Yeah?
Pearl Harbor or so. So they took him out. And he got
Did you
out.
ever hear from him?
One time he got a letter
Uh-huh.
and he says, "Tell my brother-in-law I'm doing fine."
Uh-huh.
And we know he didn't have a brother.
Uh-huh. So
So we got
it was like a secret signal.
yeah.
Yeah.
What did that mean?
Well, that he got discharged and he got to go home and he wanted the guys to know, the guys who had testified against him for the crime he didn't really commit,
Ah,
that he wanted them all to know that he was doing fine at home.
All because of them.
All because of them. The four guys ganged up and he used to call it the caper. He called it the scheme today. And he used to tell us when we were little, I was involved in a caper in the Navy and if the Navy knew, I could. So that was the
Come after
caper.
me now.
Dad,
what?
do you remember all the invasions you were in?
Oh, God.
Midway, right?
That's 6 of them.
Midway?
We went right around the circle from that island. The first invasion was what the hell did I call it? I say
Not Iwo Jima, that wasn't first, was it? What was first?
oh no, it was
Was Philippines?
Philippines.
Philippines, and that was when MacArthur came back, right?
Yeah. We were in the first invasion with MacArthur
Uh-huh.
because he was put up in cold sores.
Mm-hmm.
Then he came back and he slammed through that place, boy. He went into duck soup.
Did you ever meet anybody from the Philippines after the war?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did they feel about you when they met you?
Oh, I was God.
Oh, wow.
I was God. Yeah. This guy, he had his mother was a prisoner of the Japanese, and they used to put him in the grave up to here
They were brutal, right?
every day. They feed him very little bit, but every day was fed in a living grave. Yeah.
And you were also at Iwo Jima, right?
Oh yeah. It was that was one of the invasions. Yeah.
How did the Filipino know that your dad had been there?
My dad would tell him.
I mean, did he wear a cap that said
Oh,
it?
my dad always wore his cap. He was, right?
Yeah.
Want to put it on? Show him how handsome you look in your cap?
How much did you get paid for it?
$1 billion. Soon as you get what was you going to get? Your service bonus? Soon as you get your service bonus.
The what?
Soon as you collect the service bonus.
What are you kidding?
You never got the bonus, did
We didn't get nothing. We didn't even get a cigarette.
you? Nothing. Here, can I put it on you?
We need to talk about what kind of ship the Wilkes-Barre was.
Oh, Dad,
Wow.
what kind of ship was the Wilkes-Barre? What kind of ship?
It was a light cruiser.
What's the difference between a light cruiser and a heavy cruiser?
A light cruiser has got smaller guns,
Mm-hmm.
and a heavy cruiser got the heavier
Have
guns.
the heavier guns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the captain's name?
What?
The captain of your ship, do you remember his name?
I know for a while there, one of the fellows was from New Jersey.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Do you remember his name?
Yeah, I can.
Mm.
They call him the Bull.
The
They call
Bull?
him the Bull, yeah. And this guy,
You mean the Admiral, you don't mean Bull
This
Halsey.
guy says, attack. Hey, attack, my
Attack.
blood.
What else do you want to know?
Philippines, Iwo Jima.
Iwo Jima. Formosa?
Uh-huh.
Were you in Formosa?
Yeah, Formosa.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a battle?
Okinawa?
Okinawa was a big one.
Okinawa was a big one. Luzon?
Guadalcanal.
Yeah.
Guadalcanal? Or was that before you were in?
Was,
Oh,
Guadalcanal.
Guadalcanal.
Was that before you were in?
No.
Were you
no.
there?
I was there.
All right.
Because he
That's-
said 6.
6. I can't remember all of them. I
We
used
need
to
to
know.
know.
One with an L.
Lingayen Gulf. That was in the
Oh,
Philippines.
yeah.
Manila.
But you know what they really need to know about?
Well,
I bet they've never heard of Mog Mog.
right.
I bet they never heard of Mog Mog.
Mog was an island that we shot the hell out of it with. There wasn't a tree standing. They cleaned up the island, and they needed it for fun and pleasure.
For an R&R, right?
Yeah, they took us aboard a ship.
Uh-huh.
Two cans of
Well, wait a
of
minute.
beer.
When you got off the ship, they gave you what? When you got off the ship, they gave you what?
Yeah,
2 cans of what?
everything was gone.
Everything was gone.
There wasn't a tree standing.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave us a R&R.
Uh-huh.
That's recreation.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us 2 cans of hot beer.
Mm-hmm.
And we went ashore, and we drank the rubber. And a lot of guys were asking the officer, "What do we do now?" He says, "Well," he says, "drink the warm beer and start a fight."
What?
That was our recreation.
That was R&R.
Recreation.
Was that the beach with the beautiful shells? Was that the beach that had the beautiful shells? You made Mom a necklace out of shells.
Oh, I brought over a lot of stuff.
Everything going good?
I didn't get that chance to make it go ashore.
No?
No, not one of
How long were you at sea without going ashore?
the,
22 months?
13 trips.
Okay, 13 trips. 13, yeah. But Dad, I gotta ask you about something sad though. Do you remember about the Missouri? No, not the Missouri. Yeah,
Franklin.
the Bunker
Oh, the
Hill.
Bunker
Yeah.
Hill.
Remember about the Bunker Hill?
do I remember it?
Tell me a little about it.
Well, the Bunker Hill was attacked by a kamikaze plane, and they used to specify to blow off the end of the ship so it loses control. So the Bunker Hill took a hit, and it couldn't keep his circle. He could only go in a circle. And so we were accommodated to go to take him it in, and we had him in 3 days under our shadow. So then the bunker held the back end of it was blown off, and we got that a funny thing. The Bunker Hill got hit, and then, well, we figured, boy, we got it made. We're gonna go home. So
You thought you were going to take the ship back, right?
yeah. So anyway, they got the Bunker Hill in tow, and it was three days. So the captain of our ship came and started. Well, the gentleman said, you did such a good job. We're not going to tow it home. We're going to get a story with it. And about 650 guys, they just son of a bitch.
But was it good that you got to stay in?
Huh?
Was it good that you got to stay in? You went all the way to Tokyo Bay, didn't you?
Yeah, the Augusta got caught. Yeah,
What happened in Tokyo Bay when you got there?
Tokyo Bay.
Remember you went into Tokyo Bay
Oh,
for the signing?
yeah, it
MacArthur.
was like New Year's Eve in New York.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But how did it feel when the ship went into Tokyo Bay when you were waiting for the Missouri?
Well,
Were you nervous?
nothing was new to us.
No?
No.
Didn't you tell me though when you went in you weren't sure the Japanese had really known they surrendered?
Say that again.
You said when you first went into Tokyo Bay and you saw all the Japanese warships, what did you think?
Well, we went in and we figured the guys are treacherous. They're double crossers, but they didn't light a match.
No, huh?
No, they had a lot of ships there half shot and under our command. Yeah.
Now, why did you have to wait though? Why did you have to wait in Tokyo Bay?
They had a sign.
But what were you waiting for?
The sign to surrender.
But why did you have to wait? Why didn't they just do it right away?
Oh, that was a big show.
And why would they wait for the Missouri? Why did they have to wait for the Missouri? Whose ship,
Yeah.
whose state was
That
that?
was the president.
Oh,
Thank you.
right.
Yeah.
Truman.
Truman wanted it.
Missouri.
And,
Why? Why on the Missouri?
That's so cool.
Because he was from Missouri, right?
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, there were sailors all over the place. They had them all backed up on benches and on.
So could you actually see it? Did you actually see the signing?
Yeah, I was there. I was there.
Now, did you get to go home right after the signing?
No.
Why? Were you declared essential?
The war wasn't over.
Oh. So where'd you go after the signing? Korea?
No.
Japan, China?
We went to China, Korea,
Uh-huh. What'd you see in China?
Where in China?
Chinese people.
And didn't you take a train out to the countryside, a wooden train, Did you take a train in China?
I took a train from San Francisco.
I know that train, but how'd you get out to the Great Wall?
Oh, that was relief.
Uh-huh.
We had a nice shore leave.
Yeah?
And the condition was you can't go alone.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go in groups. And so they put us on a train. And they took us out, and there's pheasants.
Pheasants?
They're like blackbirds.
Really?
Beautiful, beautiful. And that took us so far to show us the wall and how they dug it out. And then there was there was one dead man from every ship. And I remember that. Yeah.
How about, what did you want to see when you went to Korea? Didn't you want to see a certain animal?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you want to see?
I wanted to see, what the hell is it called? A water
buffalo.
Water buffalo. So this kid, we went up to see the water buffalo. We're over there looking at the water buffalo. This little kid come and start beating us on the, with a
flag?
With a Korea flag. Hey, wait, we're in the same team.
What happened to all the souvenirs that you collected to bring my mother?
No, they're under the water.
Well, how'd they get under the water?
I was half potted with the white ruffles.
Who convinced you to drink so much?
No, well, we went ashore with the white Russians.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful girls, beautiful. And they tried to give it a
They got you drinking Russian vodka?
yeah, we drank a few too many.
How'd you get back on the ship that night?
Very weak.
Did you walk up the deck?
No, we went with the cargo net. We went with the cargo net.
And was the officer waiting for you?
We got off the cargo net, and I went up to the officer of the day, boom.
How you doing, buddy?
Hiya, pal.
And what happened to the souvenirs?
Yeah,
In the drink.
What about the atom bombs?
Did you see were you there when they dropped the bomb? Did you see them drop the bomb on Hiroshima?
No, nobody saw it.
I
No?
heard about it.
No.
Did you hear about it?
There was talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, when there's something great happened, there was talk.
How'd you feel about it?
Very happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see any of those cities after the bomb was dropped?
No.
No?
No.
How was Japan when you went there?
Japan, when we went ashore there, it was clean as a bustle. So clean you'd think they had a wedding or something.
After the signing.
Even after the bomb.
Right. And how did the people treat you?
Huh?
How did the Japanese people treat you?
We didn't have any trouble.
No? Were they nice to you?
No, they knew what the dollar was. They were trying to trade American cash for Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Japanese?
Japanese. And how about in China? How were the people there?
Very, very patriotic.
Yeah.
They had two different armies there,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to be careful because, you know, you had the soldier with
Brown.
no, the blue, and the soldier with the khaki.
Mm-hmm.
And they told us, watch where you talk, watch what you say. But no problems.
You ever ride a rickshaw?
Huh?
Did you ever ride a rickshaw?
Oh, tell me about it.
You tell me about it.
We went ashore and we wanted to go to some special girls. So we got on a rickshaw, and we got on, me and my friend.
Uh-huh.
And we got on and we're going up a hill, and we go back like this, and the rickshaw.
And what happened to the driver? His feet wouldn't touch the ground.
Their legs were going crazy.
Other questions?
Yeah,
Whatever other memories he has from Pacific.
Let's see, some favorite stories.
yeah.
These might have stirred up new memories.
Oh. What are we doing there?
She wants to hear more stories. They love hearing all your stories. You know, there aren't a lot of people left who have stories from World War II.
What they love?
Your stories from the Navy.
The stories.
You want to tell them about how you got in trouble with with Mr. Miller?
The what?
You want to tell them about how you got in trouble with Mr. Miller? When he made you stop writing the letter?
Oh, yeah. But this was on the way out.
Okay.
We were I was writing a letter,
Yeah.
and Mr. Miller came walking by and says, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm writing a letter to my mother." So he says, "Write it and throw it in the water." So I said, "Who do you think you are?" The German there.
Adolf Hitler.
Yeah. He didn't say anything. He walked away, and boom, I got on the recruit.
On report. And what'd you have on report?
2 months.
Of what?
All I had to do was go sit inside the gun turret.
For 2 months. When you weren't working, you were in the gun turret.
I did that for a couple of months. So one of the guys was a deckhand, a rebel. Did you ever think about apologizing? No, I said, no, I didn't. Did you give it a shot? So I went over and I got to leave to see Mr. Miller, and I was off a K2, just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah,
Now, we got another story about your feet.
that's what.
Yeah, your feet. What size shoes did you wear?
What size shoe?
What size shoes did you wear when you went in the Navy?
12A.
And was it easy to get you the shoes you needed?
Yeah, they had to send a plane back to Pearl Harbor.
To get you your shoes? Why was that?
Yeah, I got 2 pairs of shoes for
I
that.
have to figure out what SD card that was.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But how come they had to send the plane to Pearl Harbor?
Okay.
That was a near naval base.
Okay.
Supplies.
Sure, yeah. Water, no water. I'm sorry, okay.
Who's buying?
We need to talk about your voyage home and your discharge and other locations.
Great.
Sorry.
All right, so then you finally got to go home, right? Where did the ship go in when you went home? Where did it land?
San Francisco.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything special about the voyage home, or was it just regular?
The big thing special about that when you got off the ship.
So why didn't you stay on the ship and go back to New York?
Plus, I was stupid. I thought I'd be a wise guy.
Oh, the 7 trucks.
5 days.
Uh-huh. On a train.
Uh,
They get good food on that train?
not the same train.
No.
I think maybe six different trains. There's antique trains, wooden seats, no comfort. One bathroom for 20 guys.
How did he have the freedom to do that?
It was his option. He was going home. He'd been discharged, so he could take
Oh,
his
he had been
discharge.
discharged, okay.
So it was
He
bus
could-
or train, right?
He could have
Ship.
stayed on the ship and gone through the
Oh.
Panama Canal. He had been through the canal once, so he could have stayed on the canal and gotten back to New York. Or to New York or Philadelphia. Where was the ship built? Where was the ship going?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
And that took longer than 5 days?
He didn't think it would. Now, wait a minute. Why were you in such a hurry to get home? What was waiting at home?
Your mother.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You told me that when you left, all the guys were talking about what they were going to do when they got off the ship, right?
Yeah.
What were they saying?
I can't tell you that.
I know. What did you tell them when they asked you, what about you, Lapree?
I can't tell you that.
No, you said, I'm engaged. He had met my
Oh.
mother before he enlisted.
They asked, what about you? I said, I don't know. I think I'm going to be married.
Did you write many letters to my mother when you were on the ship?
Well, yeah, because I sent her a mail,
Uh-huh.
and the mail's on the train, and I don't know.
So when you got home, when's the first time you saw my mother?
The first time I saw your mother, I got off the taxi cab.
Uh-huh.
I greeted your mother, my mother,
My mother.
and
What was she doing?
Oh,
My mother. When you got off first you got off the taxi cab, you saw your mother.
I said I greeted my mother.
Right.
And the guys from the shop came out. My uncles. I gotta go see my mother now. My girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to my girlfriend, and she was doing work.
She's working in a war plant.
And she had tar. She had gorse on. For God's sakes, anybody got any lipstick?
How'd she look to you?
A mess.
And what about the other girls in the factory? What were they doing?
Cheer and a mess. And we were talking to her, and the factory across the street there was about 6 girls. Hey, sailor, come on up there.
But after she got cleaned up, how did she look?
A mess.
A mess, but good? I thought she was the most beautiful woman you ever
had
saw.
street clothes. Yeah. Yeah.
Did he use his GI benefits?
Dad, did you use any GI benefits?
The what?
When you got home, did you get anything from the Navy? Did you get any benefits?
Benefits. Yeah, they said we're going to get cigarettes for nothing.
And what else? But was there a bonus? Did
Nothing.
New Jersey get a bonus?
No way.
What about
No
52, what'd they call that? 52?
But didn't you get like
Yeah,
service pay? Didn't you have like you could get pay when you got home?
The what?
Wasn't there like a coupon book and you could get pay when you got home?
That wasn't good. That was for gasoline rationing.
Okay. But I thought there was some pay when
Yeah,
you got home.
for 52 weeks.
Yeah.
He told me once he didn't take it. He went right back to work with his uncle.
No, they had a record on the front of the shed, the car. And you only could get so many gallons.
Did you go right back to work? When you got home?
Oh, well,
Uncle? His uncle?
I stayed home.
Yeah. But did you go to work for Uncle Jerry? Did you go back to work as a carpenter when you got home?
I went up and I saw my uncle,
Uh-huh.
who I was
A builder.
a builder. Well, I was a car.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, when are we going to go back to work? He says, no, you've been away 3 years. He says, I think you forgot a lot. This guy would squeeze a nickel over there. You gotta work it up again.
Mm-hmm.
But we got right up there.
Did he use the GI benefits to get a house? Or to go to school?
Dad! No, not to go to school.
Okay.
Did you use your GI benefits to get your first mortgage?
To what?
How'd you get your first house?
My first car.
Your first house
My first house.
on Margaret Avenue.
What about it?
How'd you get it? Who built it?
I built it.
Right. Who helped you?
My Uncle Jerry.
And who else?
Yeah.
Who helped you put the insulation in the attic and scratch for 3 years?
Yeah.
My mother.
I,
They built the house on weekends.
I went to my couple of my aunts
Uh-huh,
to try to get a few dollars to get started.
uh-huh,
They said, no, we're not lowering it more money.
mm-hmm.
So I went into my cousin Tommy. Tommy was a nice guy, nice kid. So he said, so I said, I want to build a house. So he says, well, I'll tell my uncle. I'll tell my
Father.
father. So he went back and told my father. And he says, Bobby wants to build a house. And my uncle says, well, what the hell are you waiting for? Quit the order. Yeah, my uncle was a good guy.
Mm-hmm,
You know, he did a lot for the people.
mm-hmm,
He had his mother lived with him.
mm-hmm,
My uncle Augie lived with him.
mm-hmm,
His oldest boy was Tommy.
mm-hmm.
Tommy died earlier.
So how'd you get the mortgage after the house was built?
So what?
How'd you get the mortgage for the house?
What do you mean out of there?
How'd you get the loan? Did your uncle help you?
Oh, my uncle took me down to the mortgage company.
Uh-huh.
And he says, give this kid a mortgage. Like that. Not we a kid. Get this kid a mortgage. Boom, it was on the table.
How many houses you think you and your uncle built?
Oh.
Dozens?
How many?
Dozens? 12?
Dozen. Are you kidding? More like 100.
Uh-huh. And then why'd you stop working for your uncle?
I'm
sorry, I'm getting way out of
The work and there was no work going on.
Yeah?
Then it started up, you know, guys getting mortgages, and I got on. Yeah.
What else about
Did he
this?
join any veteran groups, or did he have any reunions of his ship?
Oh, Dad, did you ever go to a reunion of the Wilkes-Barre?
A what?
Did you ever get to the reunion of your ship?
No.
Why?
They never told me.
Where was it?
I don't know.
Wasn't there one in Wilkes-Barre you missed?
No, they skipped over me.
Uh-huh.
And then I got my first invitation
Yeah,
for a meeting.
yeah.
And so the hell with them. They didn't call me. I don't want to.
Well, were you ever in touch with anybody from the ship?
Yeah.
Who?
A couple of kids from the West Orange. And there's a funny thing that she's bringing up. There was
Another cook?
another cook. So I searched them up. Oh, somebody help me get it.
How long after the war was this?
Because his name is Bittersbruns.
But how long after the war was this?
Oh, I don't know.
It was about...
No, I know one thing. The casinos were going up.
Right, when the casinos were going up.
Yeah. So I called this kid from the Dover. And I knew he was one of the cooks, you know. So I says, I baited his name.
Right.
And I said, if you give me the right name, I got you for $1,000.
If you could guess who my dad was.
The guy says, I could use the money. You know, he knew my voice.
In the 1970s. My dad called him in the 1970s. He recognized his voice right away.
I said, yeah, Lepre. Well,
They were tight.
We saw each other for 3 years almost.
It's very special.
he and his brothers had the Dover restaurant
Mm-hmm.
up at the Circle.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever go there?
Yeah,
Was he glad to see you?
yeah. He didn't see me.
No?
This is a telephone.
Okay. But when you went to the restaurant in Dover, did you see him then?
No,
I thought he offered you a job.
we had to search it out.
Oh, okay.
But by then, they had the restaurant was up for sale.
Oh,
So he called me one time.
yeah?
He wanted to give me a job.
Yeah?
So I said, not in a restaurant.
Had enough of that?
Cindy, anything else? We have to wrap up. Robert, I just want to say that we're honored and humbled that you're here today to speak to us of your sacrifice and contribution that you made in service to your country. Thank you, God bless you, and welcome home.
She said